notice anything different. So yesterday, or maybe it wasn't yesterday, maybe the day before, I decided that I was sick of the Scape that I had. So as you can see, it looks very different. I basically swapped most of the plants from where they were previously. Now, how I did this was, first I took the driftwood out and I just kind of scrubbed it in tank water with a really stiff brush just to get some, gunk and algae and wood chips that were falling off, and just cleaned it off all around, just a quick brush. And I set that aside. And then I pulled all the plants out. I trimmed the roots because some of the Crypspiralis roots were like 6 inches long, believe it or not. Excuse me. And then I just kind of kept them on a towel and I just let them sit out, and I gravel vacked basically the whole tank. And while I was doing that, I was spraying the plants with tank water every couple minutes or so, just so they wouldn't dry out. The water ended up getting super cloudy and full of fish poop and fish food and stuff, and I felt really bad for the fish actually, because it was drained like halfway, maybe even a little bit more. And I was gravel vacuuming, and I was afraid I was going to suck up fish, and there was stuff all over, and so I had to fill it up again. I filled it up almost all the way, and I had the filter on. I actually had it on the whole time. I had it on low, and then I just kind of let it settle for a little bit, and then I gravel vac some more, and still spraying the plants with tank water. And then I kind of started thinking about where I wanted to plant things. I knew I definitely wanted to change it around a bit, so I wasn't going to put the Crypspiralis back on the left. So I decided to put it on the right, and I kind of made it on a little bit of a hill. It's a little hard to tell, but if you look at the front gravel line, it's a little bit higher on the right side, and I tried to slope it into the corner a little bit, but it didn't work out quite as well as I wanted it to. I might still go change that a little bit, but I planted that, and I planted the biggest one in the corner because there was the most gravel. And that one had a pretty big root system before, so I can expect it to get just as big with this Scape. And then what I did with the Golden Creeping Jenny on the left, right now, I trimmed it down so there was only a little bit of bare stem, because you might remember before that there wasn't leaves on the lower half of the plant. So I just cut most of that off and planted that the best I could, because that's one of the harder plants I've had to try and plant. And hopefully that will grow tall and keep all of its leaves this time, because previously the lower leaves would fall off once it got to a certain height, and I'm not sure why, because when I first got it, it was covered in leaves. And then the Crypt Wendy, or Wendetti, whatever you want to call it, I'm still not sure how to pronounce it. I kind of put that more towards the front, because last time it was all in the back behind the driftwood, and I never was able to see it. And with these new lights, I'm hoping it will grow big and strong, so I want to be able to see it more. It's not going to get as tall as the Crypspiralis for sure. The Crypspiralis will go all the way to the top in no time, but I don't think that the Crypt Wendy will make it more than halfway, so I wanted to put those in front of the Crypspiralis. And then down in front, you can probably see a little bit of the Crypt Parva right there. That hasn't done anything so far since I've had it, really. Hopefully it'll do a little bit better now that it has this new light, and I'm going to be fertilizing a little bit more with API leaf zone. And so hopefully all these plants will grow bigger. Hopefully I'll like this better than my last Scape, because my last one was the original one since I had plants, and it was not quite my favorite because it was the first time I ever had to plant a tank. So hopefully this round everything will grow in better with the new light, and hopefully it'll look better once it's all grown. Oh, I actually forgot to mention, I did see the start of a new leaf on one of the crypt parvas, so hopefully those will take off a little bit more. One more thing I want to mention is the driftwood. I always thought that I needed to have it the way that it was before, because that's just kind of that was kind of its flat surface on the bottom, and it was kind of long, and it was weird shaped, and it took up a lot of room where I think the plants could have used a little bit better. So I decided to turn it on its side, and I love it way more this way, and it looks completely different in my opinion. And it just looks a little more dramatic when it's pointing upwards and it's a little bit taller. And you can see I put some of the pennywort in there because I wasn't really sure where else to put it, because it was kind of already filled in from all the other plants, because I basically left the Brazilian pennywort last. So I put some of it on the driftwood, and I think that's the only place I'm going to keep it, because I'm going to take the floating ones right there, sterilize them with some bleach and water. And you guys learned how to do that when I did the first series on planting and sterilizing this whole tank the first time. And I'm going to put those in the goldfish tank actually, because I want to put some more plants in there, even though there's no substrate. So that's my big update on the 20 gallon for the most part. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bag of the quilt batting that the DIY King Joey uses. It's basically filter floss, and he gets his from Walmart. I'm gonna order the same stuff from Amazon, because when I checked at my Walmart they didn't have it. But it's basically just plain white filter floss, and it's like way cheaper than what you would buy at like a pet store, such as like the Marineland filter floss, which is $7 for like maybe 4 square feet or something, and I can get enough to make a quilt for a king size bed for like $7. So you can't even, there's no comparison. So I'm gonna start using that in my filters, probably on this tank and the goldfish tank. So my media will be from bottom to top. It'll be sponge, and then the quilt batting filter floss, and then Biomax, because not really in this tank, but in my goldfish tank I haven't had super clear water with just the aqua clears. So I want to try and improve that, not for the fish because they don't really care, but just for aesthetics, because clear water, everyone loves clear water. So that's my update. Thanks for watching. Watch some of my other videos, subscribe, comment, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.